Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. Liftoff.
What is up, guys? Hunter Klein here, bringing you this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys, episode number 92. We got a lot to talk about this week, actually. It's kind of a spicy week. Now, I'll start it off by saying that I cried watching a rocket launch this past week. Okay, and it's no secret that I get quite emotional when I watch humans journey into space. As we progress in our advancement towards interplanetary monkey status, thus the name of the podcast, I'm truly passionate about this stuff, people. But it's a beautiful sight. Once again, it's been a while since I've talked about my love and appreciation for a rocket launch. But it really is one of the most beautiful things I can watch a human do. That is, after years and thousands of hours of commitment in studying and advancement in construction, we can create these incredible pieces of machinery that launch us off the planet that we are seemingly restricted to. I don't want to say trapped on, but I think it does really emphasize the point here at which we're just getting off this little ball of dust. We were given this, humans were given this reality or this destiny of living and dying on planet Earth, and it turns out that these little creatures called humans are a little more intelligent than may have been previously thought. Okay, it's an underdog story, and it's the greatest goddamn story the universe has ever told, that's ever taken place in the universe as far as we know. Now, I feel like I'd be neglecting some viewers, some questions if I didn't go into, are we the only life? I would assume not. But the circumstances at which life can arise on a planet are very, very, very rare. So rare, in fact, that it's fairly impossible for me to actually depict this by saying the word rare or giving you some astronomically large numbers that are like, this is a 1 in quadrillion tillion. Okay, watch a YouTube video. They do a relatively good job of actually visualizing it, and that tends to be the best way you can absorb information about the universe. Right? When we talk about, how large is the sun? It is 10,000 times the size of Earth. Well, that doesn't really mean much, right? We can't even comprehend how large the Earth is, let alone something 10,000 times its size. So YouTube videos, for me especially, across all fields, getting that visual aspect of something I'm trying to grasp or understand always helps greatly. My point in all of this being the universe is large and expansive, and there's other life out there, I'm sure. Are they as advanced as us? Who knows? It's really a question of, did they get hit by a meteor? Did a volcano absolutely decimate the surface of their planet before they could get to the point that we're at right now? Okay. There is inevitably going to be a disaster that destroys Earth at some point in time, whether it be in the next 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, or million years. Earth will go bye-bye. We live in a shooting gallery. We quite literally live on a speck of dust that is flying through a void that might as well be a shooting range. Now, luckily, we have some protective measures around our Earth, very luckily, I should add, that, dissolve asteroids before or comets, I should say, before they hit the surface of the Earth and create impacts. Things like this. We have the gravity of the sun, which helps out a lot in keeping things out of us, but inevitably, we will run into something. And if by some chance we dodge everything, at the end of it all, the universe, as you guys know, will inevitably fall into a heat death. Okay, that everything will be gone. Now, I really got off on a tangent there, and I really think I lost the focus of the conversation. My point, again, being life is almost certainly out there. Are they as advanced as us? Who knows? it truly just matters how how big the universe really is. Because if the universe is infinite, then yes, there are not only other life in the there's not only other life in the universe, but there are infinite types of life in the universe. I'm losing some of you. I know I'm losing some of you. Speaking of universes and interdimensional travel, which we weren't even talking about, but I think it's in the same vein, we got to talk about Rick and Morty. Now, I've actually never talked about Rick and Morty on the podcast, but following this last season, I think it is worth my time. Now, I'm one of the biggest Rick and Morty fans in the world. I love the character of Rick Sanchez. Even just past the pure entertainment and the drunkenness and the foolishness and just the hilarity of his character, I think the battle that Rick deals with was one of the most interesting things ever been depicted in a cartoon, let alone a TV show. This idea that we can actually get a look into a human that is essentially turned into a god and see the actual the ramifications of what happens mentally there. I think they do a very good job of in Rick and Morty. And that's one of my favorite parts about the show is if you ask the average human, how would you rank 1 to 10 in regards to joy and the impact of your life it would have for you to be able to quite literally pull out a portal gun and transport yourself around the universe and essentially be an unkillable god that can snap anything in front of you at any time? Every human longs for this. I truly believe. I believe every human longs to be the hero in the story, the god depicted by all these books and Bibles and religions. It seems like the absolute pinnacle of existence, and I don't think that's the case for a human. I really don't. And I think there are some serious negatives of that would arise. And I truly believe that Rick and Morty, or Rick Sanchez, is a spitting image of what that human would look like. And I love what they did there. Now, the recent season, I want to talk about this a little bit. Now, I'll go on record saying my favorite season of Rick and Morty was season 2. And this is in the time when Rick and Morty was still just like a shitlord TV show. Okay? There was no storyline. Nothing really made sense. Everything was very isolated. I'm not sure what the term is. I think it's I don't think it's episodic. For what it's worth, each episode was more isolated. Of course, there were storylines and trends that did go across episodes, and there were some things here and there, but for the most part, you could tune into any random episode of Rick and Morty and not get lost in the storyline. It was just to make you laugh, to hear Rick say funny-ass lines, and hear him battle with his godlike existence. But as we progressed through the Rick and Morty seasons, it seems as if the writers wanted to color the world a little bit, make the universe a little more sensical. So things started being detailed. This is how Rick was started. This is how the Citadel was created, and this is Rick's entire story. And I think it made for a very unique season. This last season of Rick and Morty was one of the most unique ever, and it was one of those that you really didn't want to skip an episode because you would probably miss out on something essential. Again, I like the uniqueness, and I feel like Rick and Morty, the writers were forced into a position where they needed to get a little more creative. The classic shitlord episodes were no longer useful. But I have one problem with the last season, that being I felt as if the process was a little rushed. I feel like the last season of Rick and Morty could have been split into 2 different seasons. They could have prolonged our understanding of the Rick and Morty universe, and it would have been so much more enjoyable. It felt as if time and time again throughout the entire new season that they were trying to tell these very intricate stories in a 23-minute episode while keeping in the Rick Sanchez and Morty dynamics and shitlording, and it felt as if everything was rushed. I'll just say that. It felt as if a lot of the storylines, a lot of the messages were all rushed. And by the end of the episode, I didn't feel like very fulfilled. And I think they could have easily slowed down the storytelling process in each episode and really fleshed out some of these ideas in the universe, because again, I don't think how they did it in the short period of time is the way to go. For whatever reason, Rick and Morty writers feel like they need to start and wrap up a story in one episode, 23 minutes. Now, this is very useful and awesome for the exact reason I opened with Rick and Morty, is that you can turn on any episode from season 1 to 3 and just go on this incredibly fast-paced ride of jokes and in struggles and conflict, and finish the episode and be like, "Oh, okay, great. I don't need to watch another one." And that's great for casual viewers and people just tuning into Rick and Morty. But when you get into this style of writing that Rick and Morty's trying to do with the last season of, all right, let's give our fans the universe. Let's show them what it's about. It doesn't work. There's an episode where Morty fell in love, and it felt like the entire span of the relationship and the conflict in which they were separated was only like a 3-minute period. As a result, when we get to the end of the episode and we have this what is meant to be incredibly impactful moment of Morty breaking down and actually crying for one of the first times in Rick and Morty, the existence of it, something that holds so much weight and actually does create emotion, it felt forced or rushed, I should say, and a little bit empty. I felt myself wanting to be more emotionally invested, but feeling as if I wasn't given enough time to. And if Rick and Morty, if the writers would have just started, ditch this idea that we need to start and finish stories in one 23-minute episode, it would have helped astronomically. Not only would it have made stories easier to grasp for the listeners, but it would have extended or expanded the amount of content they actually created. I feel like the stories could have been spanned out over 2 seasons at least. And obviously there's some difficulties of that. But also, if we jam-pack the episodes less with crazy unfinished stories, it gives us more time to make funny Rick quotes and funny Morty Rick dynamics and more funny family dynamics and little weird off-the-wall stories here and there that Rick and Morty is so famous for. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on the season. I loved it. It was absolutely beautiful, and I will always tune in for Rick and Morty. I don't think it's a bash to the writers, but I do wish they did a little more with it. I wish, and I could be completely wrong here, maybe extending stories past one episode in Rick and Morty completely destroys the feel of the show. And that's entirely possible. But that was my one gripe, is that with a lot of stories, I just felt like they were rushed. I felt like they were rushed, and I was left more confused than I was curious or infatuated by the Rick and Morty universe. Well, some questions were answered, and it is pretty cool. The ending was pretty cool. I'm extremely interested in seeing if this show will ever continue. It felt as if it came to a wrap, and everything concluded. And again, they could have milked more content. I truly believe they could have milked more content with another season, spreading these stories out. But that might be the end of Rick and Morty. And I think that's okay. You want these people, these projects, these people, whatever it may be, to retire in their prime, right? To exit in their prime, so they have that great lasting memory of excellence. So I would be okay if Rick and Morty ended here, but who knows, guys? Who knows? Last month, sometime in the past, I talked briefly about investing in specifically Bitcoin. And first off, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not going to be giving any financial advising today. But I will tell you that I believe in the future of technology. I think it's undoubtable and I think it's unavoidable that humans are slowly progressing towards a world where technology and biology is integrated. We are already cyborgs. Our telephones, our cell phones that we constantly hold in our hands, some of us more than others, are already extensions of ourself. They are quite literal extensions of your brain. If you don't know a question, your phone does. If you don't remember your password, you have it stored in your phone. If you don't remember the notes, times, yada, 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 it's all in your phone. We are cyborgs, whether you'd like to admit it or not. And I would say quite dramatically these days. And it's only getting more intense. When things like Neuralink come out, when we have computer chips in our brain, okay, this is happening, and I'm going to 100% be signing up. As VR becomes more mainstream, which it will, it is inevitable that the future is a technological one for humans. And as a result, things that are going virtual these days, I think, are very, very important to start looking at. And I think they're very reliable to invest in. And I think that is one of the biggest, I don't think, I'm fairly positive, considering not only what I observe, but the amount of professionals that I see give this advice or talk on this topic, that something like cryptocurrency is inevitably, going to grow. There is no way around it. And you have these old boomers, I shouldn't have used boomers there. These older generations that still live with us in this world, that are constantly questioning this type of these advancements. Keep in mind, these older generations are the ones you're watching on the television, that are feeding you news, that are giving your parents their opinion on the topic. You have these older generations that cannot comprehend the future of technology and the future of everything going virtual, creating doubt in the public's mind, while everyone that I have listened to talk that is extremely successful, 30 and younger investors, all constantly say the future is cryptocurrency. Okay, this isn't a scam. It isn't sketchy. It's a little volatile. I'll tell you that much. It's a little volatile because it grows so fast and it's so wishy-washy because people aren't sure exactly what it is and it's not it. But cryptocurrency is starting to be recognized by governments. Okay? This is no longer a joke. This isn't a point where things go backwards, guys. Okay, we are in the adoption phase. I understand skepticism when it's not even recognized by any nations and you can't even use it to buy anything like general goods. Or you can only use it on like Silk Road to buy illegal products. But it has transcended this niche coin that collectors hold on to, hoping that it becomes relevant one day. Cryptocurrency is now relevant, guys. NFTs are true art collectors are getting into this. Governments are now recognizing it. We're starting to be able to buy goods. This is 100% the future, guys. It really is. So I am 100% going to be dabbling in this. I'm going to be dabbling in NFTs. I'm going to be dabbling in cryptocurrencies. And I just think it's past that point where it's like, ooh, let's take a chance. No, I don't really think it's a chance anymore. I really don't think it's a chance anymore. Yeah, if you throw money in today, it could dip in the next 3 months and damn, your stock went down. I'm talking 5, 10, 15, 20 years, guys. I'm talking 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And there was an insane chance. Like I'm talking 95% that these stocks are going to continue to grow over the next decades. Because the world is going virtual. And one thing is certain. There's no skepticism here. This isn't a theory of mine. You can look at history. Technology does not go backwards. And humans do not stay stagnant. We are never happy with technology. We are never happy with where we're at. We always have these people trying to go to the next notch. whether it be for pure innovation to advance humanity or whether it be to make a buck off of a new human life-changing technology that you can get rich off of. That's how capitalism works. It pushes us forward, and it's going to keep going up, I guarantee you. So I'm not telling you to invest in crypto. What I am telling you is that I am, and I'm getting involved in NFTs, and I'm going to be taking some financial risks here with, well, I have some stability, and money's not too important to me yet, right? I don't have much to lose, and I have a lot to gain. So let's get into it. One day. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but these aren't my own personal thoughts either, right? This is research I do. People that I've listened to like over 100 different investors and businessmen successful online. They've talked about it at this point, and I've finally come around and seen some of these news articles, and just it's quite obvious. It's not a theory anymore. It's quite literally being integrated into society. And we'll see what happens, guys. It's an interesting time to be alive. Last week, I was unfortunately greeted by news of the Met Gala. Now, what is the Met Gala? I'm not exactly sure, but in a very general sense, what I understand, it's pretty much a big dinner where rich people come together and wear the craziest clothes they can, and I'm pretty sure they're raising money for something. I know the tickets are like thousands of dollars, I'm almost positive. And yeah, it's pretty much like the elitist dinner where people dress up in crazy clothes and other people come to take pictures of them, and then their pictures are posted all over the internet, and people won't shut up about what these other humans are wearing. Guys, this stuff is so rough to watch, man. Like, it's so rough to watch. Now, don't get me wrong. If I was able to go to the Met Gala, I would certainly go. And I would wear a patchwork tuxedo. I don't want to shit on the process. I don't think people that are going to the Met Gala are bad people. They're fake. I just think humans are dumb, including me. I really do. The fact that we have hundreds of thousands of people sitting around their TVs, little gremlins hunched over with the food and like their popcorn and like, honey, come over here. Oh my God, look at her dress. I think it's dumb. I think we're just so stupid. We're so primitive. We're so monkey-like. Like, it's just, like, again, if we look from the outside scope in, these humans that are just like us, that we have put on this magical pedestal that we talked about last week, that don't breathe the same air as us, that don't go to the bathroom. And we were just like, oh my God, look at that dress. Holy. Like, some of these clothes, guys, I'm sorry. You wear whatever you want, and you're entitled to your own opinion. And I'm by no means the all-knowing fashionista of the world. But some of these people look like eggs. She's literally wearing an egg suit. And people are like, oh my God, what a fashion leap. It's too much, dude. There's no way you actually think you look good in that egg dress. Okay, you're doing it to cause a stir, to get impressions. I'm almost positive. Again, if you do, good for you. But I refuse to believe that anybody thinks an egg suit that's sparkling looks good. I think it's all for impressions, likes, attention. And so people at home can be like, oh my God, how brave. Again, don't get me wrong, I would 100% go if invited, and I would wear a sick patchwork suit. I am infatuated with patchwork these days, guys. I don't know how to describe it if you're unfamiliar with it. Look it up. But like, like handkerchiefs that are like orange, purple, and like brown, that have those like that classic same design on them. I would love to have a suit where they're like stitched together. Oh my God, that would be so cool. That'd be so cool. But yeah, the Met Gala process is just is funny to watch, guys. It's just like one of those things, again, that from an outside perspective, if you were to look from a lens outside in, if an alien were to come down and watch and see that scene, it would be laughable. He would almost certainly just drive on past, kind of like we see an anthill, and keep walking, right? It's just not even worth their time. It's absolutely silly. Okay, it is absolutely silly. Now, speaking of celebs trying to get attention and likes, celebrities, for the most part, some are doing it right, but some need to be real careful of getting involved in TikTok. Hey, let's be clear. You already made it onto if you're a celebrity, okay? You have the followers, you have the clout. There's no reason to get into TikTok other than to just have fun creating funny videos and trying to get people to laugh. And I respect the heck out of that. Do your thing. Some people do it incredibly. Will Smith is awesome at this. Will Smith has like an entire content team. I'm sure he pays hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just to create crazy cool Instagram and TikTok content. And that's awesome. But some of them are doing it very wrong. Okay. And I will give you an example. And the reason it sparked this whole discussion is I got pulled into, I believe it was Instagram Reels. I'm not even sure what app I'm on these days. I get a notification. I pick up my phone. I black out. Next thing you know, I'm scrolling through either TikTok or Instagram Reels. I don't know, but I can't get out. Okay. I want to make that very clear. I do not voluntarily start watching TikToks. Somehow I go from sitting on my desk to having my phone in my hand being lost for 30 minutes. It is an infectious technology, guys. Okay, it is infectious. This is why I deleted TikTok in the first place. But back to the story. Somehow I end up with my phone in my hand. Okay, I got hacked by the TikTok algorithms and I'm scrolling through. And I pull up a TikTok of Jason Statham dancing around on TikTok, and I'm not kidding you, like a 2-year-old baby that just learned how to stand. Okay, you know that little like awkward jiggle in rock? That little like baby rock where they're like their entire body's just like vibrating back and forth really slowly and their knees are slightly bending. Literally, movement for movement, Jason Statham pointing at like words that are popping up with an awkward smile. It was so I hate this word. It was cringe, guys. I physically cringed watching it. Now, again, I don't want to bash Jason Statham for trying to create content, but this was a little rough, guys. It was a little rough. It looked like he wasn't even, it didn't look like he was having a good time. It was so bad that I physically cringed and had to shut my phone. It knocked me out of the Instagram or TikTok reel algorithm. Okay, that's how you know something's powerful online. And again, I think there's a right way to do it, but when you have the resources that a movie star does to create content, making original creative stuff is awesome. But opening up your TikTok like Jason Statham did, seeing a TikTok trend that a 12-year-old girl is doing it and trying to replicate it like this is not the move, dude. And this is why I think this case and some celebrities or some people, well-known people, don't fall into this category of genuinely trying to create content to entertain. Okay. It was very clear that Jason opened up his phone, saw a trend, and wanted to be a part of the madness. Whether he wanted attention or he just wanted to kind of jump into the pool. It was very obvious, and it was very low budget. Again, I don't know if you guys are watching, but he's like bobbing, and what does he say? He's like, I have a kid. Boom, and he points up, and there's like kids in letters. Boom, he dances. He points to his right. Boom, I have a wife. And the word wife comes up. And he's just like baby wobbling around. It's so bad. It was bad. Again, I want to be clear. I don't want to shit on people that create content or are creative on the internet in any way. And who am I to say what's good and what's bad? But I think this is something that you could throw on a meme page on Instagram and people would be agreeing with me somewhat. It just looked forced. It looked forced. My point is, Jason Statham, this is actually has an influence on his brand. I am not going to go watch a fucking movie of this baby dancing TikToker walk away cool guys don't look at explosion style in an action movie and respect them anymore. I can't, dude. You destroyed the illusion. You completely destroyed the illusion. Like, I can't watch you fucking get in a fist fight with 3 dudes and sweep kick 2 and pop the other one in the head and think, damn, this is real life. I can't, bro. Because that TikTok was, damn, you really missed the mark on that one, buddy. But you do you. Who am I, right? Who am I? For all my iPhone users out there, you guys are getting scammed once again. iPhone moved the camera lens of their new iPhone 14 and is now selling it as a new version. They probably added a couple frames to their frame rate to their display. They maybe added a cool little like metal cone or metal outline to their side power button. And they're selling you the exact same product and you guys are getting scammed. So have fun with that. Well, I enjoy the benefits of the Google Pixel. Let's be honest. All technology, all phones, it's all a scam. But we need them. So, who knows, guys? Who knows? I saw an article today. Shitty news article goes to the week. I don't have it in reference right now. I don't know why I didn't copy and paste it or save the title. But it was like, Austin fire displaces 4 people and kills cat. Okay, so I'm not against. I enjoy animals. Okay, I enjoy animals. My mom breeds dogs, and there's no feeling like nursing a mother as she's giving birth to some pups. Okay, and I've been in that process multiple times. Right, my point here is that I know how to care for animals, and I respect them, and I love them. But if we're writing articles about a cat getting killed in a fire, we are really running out of content for news media, right? Am I not wrong here? A fire displaces 4 people and kills cat in Austin. Breaking news. Okay, buddy. 25,000 cats die a day in Austin by getting hit by cars. I'm sorry. If you don't like that, well, it's the truth. Cats die a lot. And if we're writing articles about a fire killing a cat, it's, we really need to maybe take a break or maybe lower our quota of news articles needed to be written a week so we can get a little more quality out there. I believe. All right. Before we go, this podcast will be releasing on a Monday, okay? And that Monday is the 20th, September 20th. Tonight, if you are watching this on Monday, there is going to be a harvest moon at 7:54 p.m. Eastern Time. I believe it's going to be around 5:54 p.m. Central and 6:54 Central and 5:54 West Coast. It's going to be beautiful, guys. Get out there if you're listening to the podcast right now. Make some time this evening. Go appreciate it again. It's the beauty of space where we are, and it's very humbling. And you bet your ass I'll be out there. We'll talk about it next week. So go enjoy that. Again, that harvest moon is going to be on Monday the 20th. If you're watching the episode the day or listening to the episode the day of the release, go catch it, guys. It's tonight at 7:54 p.m. Eastern Time. I think we're going to call it there, guys. I think we're going to call it there. This episode was good. I felt on fire. I felt good. Things to talk about. Guys, if you want to support the podcast, I generally don't do call to actions, but please give the podcast a rating on whatever platform you're on. I know a lot of the listeners are on Spotify, and you can't rate things on Spotify, but follow the podcast if you're on Spotify, please. If you're on YouTube, drop a like, subscribe. If you're on Apple, drop a 5-star. Please, guys, I don't ask for much. I don't need money, but I do want to get some ratings in here. It'll help the exposure of the podcast, and this is the best way to support the pod right now, especially if you're a weekly listener. Share it on social media, whatever. As I become more financially independent, this job, I'm finally starting to accumulate some wealth in my life. I'm going to be taking some measures to potentially start growing the podcast a bit. Just get the podcast out there to more like-minded individuals. Because right now I don't do a lot to grow the podcast because I'm not too interested in it, nor do I have the money to support it. But we're kind of getting out of that, all right? All right, guys. I had a lot of fun this week, man. A lot of fun. One of the more fun episodes I've recorded in months. So much love to all of you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope we made you laugh, cry, think, question, whatever it may be. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you're enjoying life right now, ride it out, baby. Take it in for all what it's worth. You will come down, and if you're in a low, if you're battling right now, keep going. You'll make it out, guys. The roller coaster of life. We all know the deal. That's it for this week's episode of Interplanetary Monkeys. This is Hunter Klein, and I'll see you next week. Peace, peace.